Hello there, it's your old friend Albert back with another episode of Albert Explains. Today we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and frightening: online anonymity. Now you might be thinking, anonymity? Isn't that a good thing? Well, like most things in life, it's a bit more complicated than that. Imagine a world where you can express yourself freely without fear of judgment or persecution. That's the promise of anonymity. It can be a powerful tool for whistleblowers, activists, and anyone seeking a safe space to share their thoughts. But as we'll soon discover, this digital veil can also hide a darker side. A side where malicious intent festers, and the consequences can be devastating. The internet, my friends, is a lot like that box of chocolates Forrest Gump talked about. You never know what you're going to get. But unlike a box of chocolates, the internet doesn't come with a handy guide telling you which ones are filled with caramel and which ones are filled with, well, something less appealing. So buckle up as we explore the double-edged sword of online anonymity. We'll uncover the chilling stories of those who have been burned by its misuse, and we'll examine the slow response of legal systems struggling to keep up with the ever-evolving digital landscape. But fear not, I, Albert, haven't lost hope. We'll also delve into potential solutions like the intriguing concept of the multi-web that offer a glimmer of light in this digital darkness. So, put on your thinking caps, dear viewers, and get ready to explore the complex world of online anonymity with me. Let's start with a story that'll send shivers down your spine. Imagine this: you're in a hotel room, thinking you're safe and sound, when suddenly you discover a hidden camera recording your every move. This isn't some far-fetched spy thriller, my friends. It's a terrifying reality for many. Unauthorized filming, often facilitated by the cloak of anonymity, has become a growing concern in our hyper-connected world. Remember the case of the South Korean actress who tragically took her own life? She was a victim of this very crime. Her privacy violated and shared online without her consent. Her story is a stark reminder of the devastating impact such acts can have on individuals. But it's not just hidden cameras we need to worry about. Think about all the photos and videos we share online, often without a second thought. What happens to those images? Who has access to them? These are questions we rarely ask ourselves, yet the answers can be deeply unsettling. In an age where anonymity reigns supreme, it's easier than ever for our digital footprints to be manipulated, twisted, and used against us. And let's not forget the dark side of social media, where anonymous accounts can unleash torrents of abuse and harassment. The ability to hide behind fake profiles emboldens bullies, making them feel invincible and untouchable. This toxic cocktail of anonymity and online platforms can have a devastating impact on mental health, pushing some to the brink. Now, let's venture into the darkest corners of the internet, where hate groups thrive under the cover of anonymity. Free from the constraints of real-world identities, these groups spread their poisonous ideologies, recruiting new members and inciting violence. The internet, once hailed as a tool for connection and communication, has become a breeding ground for extremism. Take the rise of white supremacist forums, for example. These online spaces provide a haven for hate speech, allowing individuals with dangerous beliefs to connect and organize. Shielded by anonymity, they plot real-world attacks, their hateful rhetoric spilling over into the physical world with terrifying consequences. But it's not just organized hate groups we need to be wary of. The internet has also given rise to a culture of online harassment, where individuals feel empowered to spew venom and abuse from behind their keyboards. Anonymous accounts become weapons, used to attack and intimidate others, often with little consequence. The anonymity that the internet offers has become a double-edged sword. While it can be a powerful tool for good, it can also be a dangerous weapon in the wrong hands. So how do we navigate this complex landscape? How do we harness the power of anonymity for good while mitigating its potential for harm? These are questions that will continue to challenge us as we move further into the digital age. But the dangers of online anonymity don't stop there. Let's talk about the world of online gaming, a realm where anonymity can be both a blessing and a curse. For some, it's a chance to escape into fantastical worlds, to shed their real-world identities and embrace new personas. Yet this freedom can come at a steep price. Cyberbullying runs rampant in many online gaming communities, with anonymous players hiding behind avatars to unleash a torrent of abuse. Remember the tragic story of Megan Meyer, the 13-year-old who took her own life after being relentlessly cyberbullied on MySpace? This heartbreaking case, though not directly related to online gaming, highlights the devastating impact of online harassment, often fueled by the perceived safety of anonymity. The perpetrators, hiding behind fake profiles, felt invincible, their cruel words striking with the force of 1,000 daggers. And then there are the dangers of online predators lurking in these digital playgrounds. Disguised as fellow gamers, they prey on the vulnerable, exploiting the anonymity of the online world to manipulate and abuse. These predators often use sophisticated tactics, building trust and rapport with their victims before revealing their true intentions. The anonymity that allows gamers to escape into virtual worlds can also create a breeding ground for toxic behavior and criminal activity. It's a stark reminder that even in the virtual world, actions have consequences, and the cloak of anonymity is not a shield from responsibility. Catfishing, real lives, real pain. But the dangers of online anonymity don't stop at harassment and abuse. Let's talk about catfishing, a phenomenon where individuals create fake online personas to deceive others, often for romantic gain. Imagine falling in love with someone you met online, only to discover that they're not who they claim to be. It's a nightmare scenario that's become all too common in our digitally connected world. Remember Manti Te'o, the Notre Dame linebacker whose story captivated the nation? He believed he was in a long-distance relationship with a woman he met online, only to discover that she was a complete fabrication, a figment of someone else's imagination. His story sent shockwaves through the country, highlighting the devastating emotional toll catfishing can take on its victims. Catfishing preys on our deepest desires for connection and love, exploiting our vulnerabilities for personal gain. The anonymity of the internet provides the perfect breeding ground for these digital chameleons, allowing them to morph into whoever they need to be to lure in their victims. And it's not just romantic relationships that are at risk. Catfishers also target individuals seeking friendship, professional connections, or even financial assistance. They're master manipulators, skilled at weaving elaborate webs of lies to achieve their goals. So, how do we protect ourselves in a world where digital deception is rampant? Now, you might be thinking, Albert, surely there are laws to prevent this kind of behavior. And you'd be right, to some extent. But here's the rub: the law, much like a lumbering dinosaur, struggles to keep pace with the lightning-fast evolution of the internet. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to catch a cheetah on foot. That's the law trying to catch up with technology. By the time a law is passed to address one issue, 10 more have popped up in its place. It's a constant game of catch-up, and the law is always lagging behind. Take cyberbullying, for example. Many countries have laws against harassment, but applying those laws to the online world is a whole other ballgame. How do you prosecute someone who's hiding behind a fake profile? How do you gather evidence in the ephemeral world of the internet? These are questions that lawmakers are still grappling with. And then there's the issue of jurisdiction. The internet knows no borders. So how do you enforce laws in a borderless world? If someone in one country commits a cybercrime against someone in another country, which country's laws apply? It's a jurisdictional nightmare that often leaves victims feeling powerless and frustrated. The slow response of the legal system is a major obstacle in the fight against online abuse. Until laws can catch up with technology, we're left to navigate these treacherous digital waters largely on our own. But don't despair, my friends. Even in the darkest of times, there's always hope. While the current state of online anonymity might seem bleak, there are brilliant minds working tirelessly to create a safer, more accountable digital future. One such concept that has piqued my interest is the multi-web. Imagine a world where the internet is no longer a single monolithic entity, but rather a network of interconnected webs. each with its own set of rules and regulations. This is the essence of the multi-web, a vision of a more decentralized internet where individuals have greater control over their data and online identities. In this multi-web, users could choose to join webs that align with their values and priorities. Want a web where anonymity is paramount? There'd be a web for that. Prefer a web where users are verified and accountable for their actions? There'd be a web for that too. The multi-web envisions a future where the internet is no longer a one-size-fits-all platform, but rather a diverse ecosystem catering to a wide range of needs and preferences. This decentralized approach could empower users, giving them greater agency over their online experiences. It could also foster a greater sense of community and accountability, as users would be more likely to be mindful of their behavior in webs where their identities were known. Towards a safer digital tomorrow, the multi-web is just one example of the innovative thinking needed to address the challenges of online anonymity. It's a vision of a future where the internet is no longer a lawless frontier, but rather a space where freedom and accountability can coexist. But technology alone cannot solve this problem. We, the users, must also take responsibility for creating a safer, more respectful online environment. This starts with fostering a culture of empathy and understanding. We must remember that behind every screen is a real person, with real feelings and real lives that can be impacted by our words and actions. We must also be mindful of our own online behavior. Anonymity should not be a license to harass, abuse, or deceive others. Let's use this powerful tool responsibly, engaging in thoughtful dialogue, respecting differing viewpoints, and treating others with the same kindness and respect we wish to receive. Education is also key. We must teach our children about the potential dangers of online anonymity, equipping them with the tools and knowledge to navigate the digital world safely and responsibly. By fostering digital literacy and promoting critical thinking, we can empower the next generation to create a more positive and ethical online future. Just as we have laws and social norms to govern behavior in the physical world, so too must we establish clear guidelines and expectations for conduct in the digital realm. We need to reclaim our digital streets, creating spaces where individuals feel safe to express themselves without fear of harassment or abuse. This requires a multi-pronged approach. Tech companies have a responsibility to create platforms that promote safety and accountability. This includes implementing robust reporting mechanisms, developing algorithms that detect and flag harmful content, and working with law enforcement to hold perpetrators accountable for their actions. But it's not just up to tech companies. We, the users, must also hold each other accountable for our online behavior. We must call out harassment and abuse when we see it, report it to platform moderators, and support those who have been targeted. By fostering a culture of collective responsibility, we can create a safer and more inclusive online experience for everyone. The internet has the potential to be a powerful force for good, connecting people across borders and cultures, amplifying marginalized voices, and facilitating the exchange of ideas. But to realize this potential, we must address the dark side of online anonymity. So is this the end of Anon? Not necessarily. Anonymity, when used responsibly, can still be a valuable tool for protecting privacy, fostering free speech, and empowering individuals. But the time has come to rethink our relationship with online anonymity, to recognize both its potential and its perils. We need to move beyond the simplistic notion of anonymity as a binary, either all or nothing. Instead, we need to explore more nuanced approaches that balance the need for privacy and free expression with the need for accountability and safety. This might involve developing systems that allow for pseudonymous participation, where individuals can engage online using aliases while still being held accountable for their actions. It might also involve creating different levels of anonymity for different online activities, with higher levels of verification required for activities that pose a greater risk of harm. The key is to find a balance that protects individual rights while also fostering a safer and more accountable online environment. It's a complex challenge, but one that we must address if we want to create a digital future that benefits all. As we venture further into the digital age, the question of online anonymity will continue to challenge us. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but one thing is clear: we cannot simply ignore the problem or hope it goes away on its own. The internet is not some separate entity existing outside the realm of human values and responsibilities. It is a reflection of ourselves, a digital mirror reflecting our best and worst impulses. If we want to create a better online world, we must start by looking inward, examining our own biases, and challenging our own assumptions. We must approach this challenge with both a sense of urgency and a spirit of collaboration. Technologists, policymakers, educators, parents, and everyday users all have a role to play in shaping the future of the internet. By working together, we can create a digital world that is both empowering and safe, a world where freedom and responsibility go hand in hand. The future of the internet is not predetermined. It is ours to shape. Let us choose wisely. And there you have it, my friends. The complex and often troubling world of online anonymity. It's a world of shadows and light, where the very tools that empower us can also be used to harm us. But remember, even in the darkest corners of the internet, hope remains. By fostering empathy, promoting accountability, and working together to create a safer digital world, we can ensure that the internet lives up to its promise as a force for good. Until next time, keep those brains buzzing. This is Albert signing off. Thank you for listening to Albert's Thoughts. Albert has always been a mysterious figure, wandering through the mist, sharing his eerie whispers with those who dare to listen. For more from Albert the Ghost, you can subscribe to our channel or check out one of our other videos. Remember, in the world of the unknown, it's important to take care of each other. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep exploring the mysteries.